I've made Zha Jiang Mian before. Zha Jiang Mian means fried sauce noodles in Chinese, and it is a very common noodles that is popular in China and in many other countries. It is originated in the northern China. One of the major ingredients in Zha Jiang Mian is called tianmianjiang, which means sweet soybean paste. It's hard to find outside China. I've been to New Zealand last month and I couldn't find any of the shop that's selling that. Back to Malaysia, here I can only get it in very specific Chinese shops. Therefore, I want to simplify it and use only common ingredient that is available in most of the places. And I will do it again today and show it to you, and I hope you enjoyed it. The most important ingredient is minced meat or ground meat. Now I'm using pork today, which is the original recipe. If you do not eat pork, you can use chicken or you can even use beef, but it will not be authentic. And the best pork that we use is always contain some fat, about 1/3, 25% to 33% of fat, so that after you make the sauce, the meat will be tender. Besides the pork, I also need some mushroom. This is the dry Chinese shitake mushroom. I've soaked it in water for several hours, and I need to cut it into small dice. Besides the pork and also the mushrooms, we also need some aromatic ingredients. This is the chopped ginger and garlic, and this is the green section of the scallion. How about the major ingredients, the seasoning ingredients for Zha Jiang Mian? Now today I'm using this ingredient that is a soybean paste. This soybean paste in Malaysia, over here we call it Taucu, T-A-U-C-U, and in Chinese we call it doujiang. Since the other version that is called tianmianjiang that usually used in combination with this is not available, so I will ditch that and I will use this a little more today. And I would like to show you how it looks like. It looks like that, yeah. And if you want to simplify it, you can just use it. But if you want to make it a little bit better, or if you have it at home, what you can do is you can add some dark soy sauce to improve the color, and you can add a little bit small amount of oyster sauce, and if you have some Chinese wine, you can put some Chinese wine at the end of the cooking. So these are all optional ingredients to make it simple, and the most important one, you must get this. Now let's make the sauce. Since Taucu or soybean paste is the primary ingredients for that, I will put this into the bowl first. Need a little bit more because I don't have the sweet type, the tianmianjiang. And just a small amount of sugar. This is optional. And then some dark soy sauce to improve the color. And you do need a lot because the color is quite intense. It's good enough. And also some oyster sauce. As I mentioned, this is optional. Okay, let's keep this aside and then let's prepare the vegetables. There are three major vegetables I use for the noodles. That is the cucumber, carrot, and cabbage. And we need to slice it into thin strips. We need to cut all these vegetables into thin strips, and if you have a mandolin, it is very, very useful. We also need some cabbage, but it is very hard to use the mandolin to cut it into long strips, so I have used a sharp knife to cut it slowly into thin strips. We have everything ready. Now let's start cooking. First, let's add some oil and saute the aromatics. That's the ginger, garlic, and the white section of the scallion. These three ingredients are pretty standard for most Chinese cooking, and we usually start with these three ingredients for most of the stir fry. Sometimes we add some dry chili inside if I wanted to make it spicy. Saute it over low heat for a little while until it starts to become aromatic, and then add the minced pork. We do need high heat at this moment. Just maintain it at medium heat. Break up the ground pork and fry it until it turns slightly brown. This is the sauce for Zha Jiang Mian. Zha means fried. Now I'm frying. Jiang means sauce. Zha Jiang Mian simply means making the sauce by frying. Because the last word Zha Jiang Mian, the word mian means noodle. So basically is you put the sauce that you have already fried onto the noodles. Now halfway through, I'll add the mushrooms. Now the pork is already completely cooked, but I'll continue doing the same thing over medium heat for a little while to render out all the oil from the fats, and that will make it even more flavorful. Okay, now add all the seasoning ingredients, mainly comprises of the soybean sauce or soybean paste, and fry together with the pork. That makes sense, right? Because the name is Zha Jiang, fry the sauce. Add some water to make it to become a sauce, a meat sauce. That is quite similar to making bolognese sauce, right? Although it is an abbreviation version of it. Okay, turn it down to low heat and let it simmer for a while. Now let's do a test and see whether it needs to make any adjustment. It is slightly salty if you just take it as it is, but take into consideration that we're going to use this one to put together with the noodles that is practically no salt at all. So it is okay. In fact, we need to make it slightly salty in consideration that we're going to make together with the noodles. Now everything is done. What we need now is to put everything together to serve. This is the Shanghai noodle that I have already prepared and cooked according to the instruction on the packaging. And in fact, you can use any other noodle. Say for example, ramen is a very good substitute. Let's put all these shredded vegetables on top, which looks really nice. The carrots. So if you do not want to use these kinds of vegetable, you can use some other vegetables. Some people put bean sprout, that is equally good. And then put a large ladle of the sauce that we have made right at the center. You can put more if you want more sauce. It's really up to you. What can I say? You might have heard the slurping sound of the noodles. It's very, very nice. The flavor is primarily savory from the soybean, and coupled with the crunchy and crispy vegetables from the carrot and cucumber is absolutely incredible. And if you want to try it just like me, I have included the recipe in the description below the video, and also I will put it at the end of this video for your reference. And thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Try to make it at home. Let me know the result in the comments, and I will see you again in some other similar videos in the future. For now, try it out and bye for now.